Okay. Oh, well. Got to wear the Star Wars hat. Okay. So we shall begin with Hesmet. So Hesmet, what do you think? You've rigged this door to be. How did I put it last time? A claymore the size of the gate in King Kong.
So this is kind of how I imagined it being set up. Was as soon as I saw those guys coming, and I thought there was trouble.
Mm-hmm.
You know how there's always that outer blast door?
Oh yeah.
I closed that, and then I opened the inner door, and in that nice little space in between the two, I started packing that with explosives
Nice. So
because I imagine that the outer blast door is not as strong as the inner door.
I think that would be fair. I think that would be accurate. Um, so basically, this whole area along here is rigged for badness.
Yep.
Right. Okay. I don't know if there's a double door kind of a scenario in there, but with shape charges, you could definitely turn this whole area in the front into a killing zone with shrapnel. Um, you're probably not going to have a functional door when it's all said and done by any stretch of the imagination.
Oh
Um,
no, I figured there would be a nice little hole there, but as I said last time, I think our time of using this base is coming to an end.
so I might as well make it so nobody else can use this base either. Um, Catherine, while we're making Mike do a terrifying roll here, um, think about
Terrifying.
what a Lear's like sort of contingency plan. The Empire is about to descend on the base, kind of contingency plan. What happens with all the computer systems in here? Like what fail safes do you have in place? Also, if you haven't watched it, I highly recommend at least checking out the first season of Mr. Robot. It's quite interesting from a it's probably the most realistic hacking movie show I've seen. It's really very good. There's a couple points in here where he's like, "Oh, I think there's a slight, maybe 10%, possibly 4%, maybe 3% chance that someone has figured out who I am. So I am going to take literally everything that I own that's electronic and throw it in the microwave and nuke it until it glows. And I'll just build everything from scratch all over again in a couple of days." It's it's a little bit more extreme than I've ever gone, but whatever works. Anyway, so a roll for blowing stuff up. I don't know if do you have a specific ability for that, like that
I do not.
would sort of apply. If not, it's
Uh,
probably going to be
the closest I have is homegrown solutions, and
right.
that one is so weird and doesn't get used very often.
Well, I think the last time you did it worked well.
Homegrown
Kind
solutions.
of.
Oh, that's
You made
your
a gun or something, remember?
is yeah, but
Well, no, that's a different move.
Oh.
that's when something blah 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 something go to war. Um,
Yeah.
Grab what's handy and go to war. When you have time to improvise a solution to a problem, tell the GM what you are trying to achieve, and the GM will tell you the cost and time and gear. That was originally yet another explosive thing, and I sort of tried to make it a little bit more generic so you could come up with more different jury rigged stuff. Um,
See, and I'd like to use that, but there never seems to be a good time to use
yeah,
that.
it's really more like I need to make a. You know what this is? This is the A team like cobble it together like montage in every episode. It's kind of that stuff. Like we've got a bunch of oxygen tanks and some sledgehammers and
Let's MacGyver the shit out of it.
yeah, let's MacGyver the shit out of it and turn it into a defensive perimeter that we can use to stave off the entire 3rd Infantry or something with 4 people and, a half-trained band of 12-year-olds. So, and there's not really anything to roll there. It's really kind of a workshop kind of deal. I'm sorry if I'm crunching animal crackers in everybody's ears.
I can't hear you chewing.
Good. All right. I think it's going to be your basic. Probably it's going to be your basic act under pressure. Race against the clock. Act while in danger. Act to avoid danger. Roll cool. On a 10 plus, without a hitch, etc., etc. Your cool is, unfortunate for the GM, a 3.
Yes.
Why don't you?
And
yeah.
Not only that.
Are you bottling it up?
I'm taking 2 points of bottle it up.
So this is, what's great is it's kind of like how I wrote the dark side points, where I can just sort of keep hold to screw with you later. Except you're much more likely to use this than Ghana will ever earn dark side points.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I don't know. She's still stuck in the camp, isn't she?
no, she's not in the camp now. She's
That's right.
She's fleeing back to us.
Well, she's got Saw, and she's got backup,
that's right.
and there's all that.
She's with backup
drama going on. Backup rolled. Oh, is that your thing for being where there's violence? Is that what backup just rolled? I should change to
that. Yeah, that was Moss of the Flame. On a miss, you hold 1 and can put me in a bad spot.
Well, that's perfect. I'm just pretending that you always miss then, because I just like doing that. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. All right. So that's Moth to the Flame, and it still draws you. It's hardly a bad. It's honestly, it's almost not a downside. It's like I rolled bad. Oh no, that means that the GM can put me in a dangerous situation.
It's basically a free delayed hard move. So yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, I get to mess with backup. How terrible. All right, so you're taking a +2 in addition to the +3, so you get to add. You could probably just. How about you just
I'm just gonna roll.
Go ahead and roll, and you can do the variable thing down in the corner there, or actually on your character sheet. Whoa! Okay, that's a wow.
That's without my +2, so I got a 16.
Damn, dude. Oh, this is
I really didn't want to fail this one. Not after the Kyber crystal.
All the explosions all the time. Wow. Okay, so that's right. That's a 16. Holy buckets.
I know which move I'm advancing first.
Oh yeah? What's that?
Act under pressure.
I don't know if cool can go up any higher. I think 3's the cap.
No. For the advanced move, where if you get a 12 plus,
you get a 12 plus. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Because yes, I want to transcend my problems
with explosions. I want to transcend my problems with explosives.
They will be one with the Force.
Force is with me. All right, so. Okay. So you were looking. So basically, the first scene opens up with all the stormtroopers, and they've got a. Did I say there was a walker? I don't think there's a walker.
No, there wasn't a walker, but they had like a Navy commander with them, or a Navy, some sort of
like the
officer with them.
The dude with that, the hats that are like that, down over the eyes, and then they've got like. Oh, I'm going to say about 24 stormtroopers, and they pretty much all just file in there into this gap area right here, all along here, and Where do you go just before you detonate this thing? Like, do you
So
just duck beat?
base,
Go ahead.
basically, what I would do is, I figure we have at least a couple of people that I like put guns in their hands and like told them to stay up here, like behind the wall.
Right.
And it's like, if you don't hear screaming in a little bit, just shoot whatever.
And you just duck right back here, like behind this little
Uh-huh.
nook here. All right. They can get up in the hallway here. Actually, probably this one because this stairwell's never been quite right since the debacle.
It seemed like yes.
No, that wasn't a debacle. That was
I think debacle's actually pretty
a
fair.
carefully planned action.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure and cross this one out. That one's. I'm just gonna. Anyway, and I've now started this thing where everybody's gonna be drawing on the map. Anyway, so they're probably over here, hiding behind this thing. So you basically just duck back here, and the cool thing is you don't actually have to hit like a little detonator. The door is set to explode. You put the charges on it, so as the door opens, when the first explosive, as it's drawing back, like it sort of draws back into the wall, as they get pulled back, as the first explosive connects or sort of gets crushed here, it sets off the whole chain reaction and blows the rest. So the door is open enough that it's going to give, otherwise it'd be locked in, and it just So it starts to open up. It's just about wide enough for like two people to walk in when it goes. And a couple of the stormtroopers and the commander have actually started taking a couple steps forward to like walk in as the door is opening, to be all kind of like, I'm cool. I'm not even waiting for the door to open all the way. When the whole thing goes and just blasts straight inwards. Remarkably, very little shrapnel or blowback, really. I mean, the shaped charge that you manage is very effective. Hardly any stuff gets blasted back into the actual space of the garage. Some of the speeder bikes get knocked over sideways, but you're pretty sure that none of them are even that badly damaged. This area out here, on the other hand, is outside in the maintenance entrance. It's basically a killing zone. The ricochets, the sideways stuff off the cement, it is just an absolute abattoir all through this area. It's just not good. And the parts that ping off and ricochet back, yeah.
So I think this is where I radio in, like after like all the noise dies down, and it's just like, hey, Lear, good news, bad news. No more troopers. You don't want to use this door.
Well, technically the door is, I shouldn't say door. The entrance is perfectly serviceable. It's just not, it doesn't.
No. There's going to be an odor there now.
That's fair.
And there's always the chance of unexploded ordnances and
Yeah. I'm just like, no one wants to use this door.
Yeah.
Until we want to leave, take the speeder bikes. Yeah.
through the cafeteria and
Uh-huh.
Okay. So after the ringing in your ears subsides somewhat.
Only one ear.
All right. The ringing in your ear subsides somewhat. Yeah. What do you, do you go out and survey the wreckage? What do you do? The other two, the guys that you had like for backup and like to come through the door there, they kind of come out and they're like, holy crap.
I just waved them back, and it's just like, head back there. Help Lear with whatever she needs to get the data out of here. And now it's time for me to start going through the field.
So, the commander's dead. The commander's actually in 3 different pieces.
The commander's probably in a lot more than 3 pieces.
Well, 3 primary pieces, but right next to him, the stormtrooper with the shoulder patch, unbelievably, is like, with the shoulder. You know what I mean? The like the leather
Yeah.
shoulder guard thing, the rank guard, ranking.
Yep.
He apparently was in that like this one like the sort of V of destruction. He was right in the gap of the V, and didn't get hit by anything. He just had to deal with the concussive blast and wearing his armor. The guy right to his right, dead. The commander right in front of him, dead. Everybody behind him, dead. Him, completely untouched.
Well, we're not keeping that way. I'm kicking his rifle as far away from him as possible.
I like, this link, that who shared that? That
Me.
Mike shared. The dude from the prison thing. Is that his character name or is that the actor?
I have no idea. It's from the uniform page, so
I have been every single time I watch this is Star Wars trivia for you here.
It's the character.
It's the character's name? Okay. This is my personal, it's not even really headcanon as much as it's just something that I think is true. I think this is an uncredited role for Rutger Hauer. It sounds exactly like him.
his name is Malcolm Tierney.
Tierney. Really?
Yep. But his voice was dubbed over.
Really?
Uh-huh.
But it doesn't say by who.
Let's find out.
It kind of looks like
Anyway.
it kind of looks like Rutger Hauer to me, but it really, really sounds like Rutger Hauer. A lot. So, anyway, just my little random thing. Anyway, so yeah, commander like that, except he's in gray, not black.
So the second picture then.
Yeah, but again, gray, because the admiral.
Oh yeah, that's tan.
Yeah, it's like a tan thing. Although I could see that, I don't have a problem with that. But we're going with gray since this is sort of a quick and dirty. If they'd been planning a attack, they probably would have gotten in more appropriate garb. But as it stands, they're just going to drop down there in what they were wearing around the up in the fleet. Okay, so finish this guy off real quick. I mean, he is a source of intelligence.
No, like I said, I'm kicking his gun away from him, and then we're probably going to kick that helmet off of him too. I know that's probably going to be very uncomfortable for him, but I really don't care.
That's fair. He is definitely still quite insensible. Doesn't help that you're kicking the helmet off his head.
Yeah, well.
He's, one eye, he's kind of blinking, and one eye's like got that really nasty bloodshot, like a blood vessel burst in the eyeball kind of thing. He doesn't seem to know where he is.
Well, he will soon, because as soon as like that helmet is off of him, I think it's, and I see, that look on his face, I think I'm just going to put my boot into his neck, and it's just going to be like, all right, you're deaf right now, so you can't understand a word I'm saying, but you're not going to try anything or else I'm going to shoot you.
At least let the guy enjoy his field promotion, okay?
No.
Field combat brevet, isn't that what they call that?
Brevet ranks, yeah.
So, I mean, you wanted to bring one of the guys down here and have him secure him or something?
Yeah.
There's zip ties all over the place in the garage, so that's easy enough to, secure him, as it were. Everybody else, it's very easy to determine that they are dead.
I figured
the parts of them that you can see.
The parts of them, yeah. I mean, they got, Durasteel shards and blast stuff, and it's, yes. Jungle vultures will feed well tonight.
Am I glad I'm not there?
It's not pretty. It's definitely not pretty.
Yeah,
Okay.
It'll be better when the giant chameleons come to eat the carcasses.
Yes. Yes. And then we find out that there's a such thing as jungle spiders. Ugh. All right. So, Alir, are you going to police the bodies up or just leave them where they lay?
Um,
No, I'm sorry. Sorry. I said that wrong. Mike, is Hesma going to get the bodies out of the way or just leave them where they lay and then I'll switch back to the layer?
No, I think it's probably a good idea because I imagine if Akana, Alir, Ghana, most of the techs have to come through here, they're not. This is not going to be a good spot.
No.
We're gonna lose some
Actually-
lunches.
well, yes, but it works because, as you're saying, all the animals will be attracted, and then maybe they'll continue to come back.
Yeah. Well, this base is going to be, yeah. It all depends on what kind of shape you leave the base. Alir, emergency evacuation procedures for the computer stuff. What are you doing to this place that has done nothing but serve you? How are you punishing it for even existing? Really? Like the smiley face up there. Very cute.
I'm getting off any data that I can,
Mm-hmm.
any info.
We can assume you've got some yankable backups that you can just kind of grab and
Yeah.
take with
And
you.
then once I've got everything that I can, I'm sending in a nasty virus that will just completely crash the whole thing and make it irretrievable.
Okay.
So
Any actual physical damage to the actual physical devices once it's all said and done? Or do you want to leave them as sort of a poison well kind of a deal?
leave them.
Okay.
Just make it so that stuff keeps on setting off.
Okay. So kind of a rolling infection kind of deal. Oh God, I've had this happen before. See, you don't just you take the time. Actually, you got 20 techs here, which question that Mike had asked earlier and I never answered. This was like a week ago because I didn't see the actual conversation. Silly me. About 20 techs here. It's very easy to get. Once you've affected a couple of the terminals, it's really easy to start shoving through all the writable media. So you get a situation where you get techs in here and they finally clear it out. They finally get the servers up and running again. And then as soon as they grab what they think should be completely blank media and pop it in somewhere, it reinfects the whole damn system again because all the media is infected as well. And it's probably 2 or 3 times that this happens before they figure out that that's the actual vector. I've had that. Oh, God. Oh, so annoying. I had a virus once on one of my systems that didn't do anything. It didn't have any effect on the systems that I had. And I'd found it and I'd scanned it off. And as far as I could tell, it was gone. It never had any effect on me. And then I upgraded my system to Windows 95. So this should tell you how long ago this was. And in Windows 95, it made my CD drive no longer detectable. It made my optical drive just vanish. Couldn't be seen anymore. It didn't do anything on Windows 3. It didn't do anything on DOS. It didn't do any of that stuff. So I didn't think it was anything. And I reinstalled Windows 95. Everything is clean. I pop in a disk a floppy disk that I'd apparently forgotten to clean, and it showed up in there. And the CD-ROM went away, and so it takes me a week to get that straightened out. I reinstall everything, get it all straightened out, get it up and running again, put Windows 95 back on. Everything is working. Everything is good. A month goes by, and I pop that disk in again, and the drive disappears. Repeat then through the entire first half of that year before I finally figure out that that's where the virus was coming from. It was awesome. That is what you have now set up, Alir, in the base. I'm not even going to make you roll for it because, honestly, I don't find that screwing up computers requires a tremendous lot of difficulty.
Skill.
Skill, not when you have complete control over them. The trick is to not screw them up. Okay. While you are doing that, Akana, you hear the explosion, the distant crump. And actually, you get the thing where the birds go up in the jungle nearby, like. Wah, wah, wah. What do you do when you hear the explosion? Because you're not really in communications right at the moment that this happens. So what do you do? I'm suddenly concerned that Margie's mic is muted.
No,
Oh,
I'm
okay. You're thinking.
sorry.
Hear her.
No, I was having trouble hearing Catherine, so
Oh, I see.
never mind. Sorry.
I can hear you again.
Yay!
Yeah, I hit reconnect. So
Okay, cool. So, having heard the explosion in the distance and seeing many flocks of startled jungle birds alight from the take off from the trees, not alight. Anyway, take flight, and you hear Lux say, "Oh my word, that sounded effective."
can I hit him again?
What? He's not being snarky. I don't know. He's being very earnest. He's being very honest about this. I mean, his vocabulary choices could stand to get roughened up a touch, but he's not being sarcastic. Anyway,
I'm trying to remember where we left this because
you were. Hang on, let me.
Because I looked out through the cameras, and that's how I let them know that they were coming, but they're not near me, but they're between me and there.
Right.
I'm assuming that's still the case.
Yeah, you were. I don't know who's been drawing smiley faces on my perfectly good ruins here. It's like this is why people don't let people into ancient burial sites anymore, because people come in and they draw smiley faces on ancient Greek architecture and stuff. It's terrible.
You just don't appreciate modern art.
No, that's actually true, although I don't think that's relevant in this case. All right. Anyway, you were over here, which is about a couple clicks away and across the river across a ravine from the rest of from the other base. So this is where you were at. And I think you were kind of holding up because you had realized that there were the other troopers around. And I guess the first thing to do would be to check in with somebody over at the base to see if that worked. You don't hear any blaster fire. So, oh God. No. Anyway. You don't hear any blaster fire, which is either really good or really bad. There don't appear to be any X-wing flybys either. So again,
well and I had camera. I was able to see some stuff on the cameras. Can I see anything?
Yeah, actually,
we had the hard line open to the base.
I think that most of the cameras that you can see that backup setup, you could probably see from either this station or the other one. Because I think backup would have probably set this one up as sort of a fallback. If I need to evacuate the base, but I still need to sort of surveil the base, I can come here.
Right, because we were looking at the cameras here before. That's how we let backup know, or Hesmet know that there was stuff going on.
There was, the cameras were looking at sort of the intervening jungle, but you've got a couple that would show the gates. Actually, by the time you're looking out at the trees and stuff, and he's like, hang on a second, I wonder if there's a camera. Hey, look, I can see the front. Oh my word. When he hears you coming, he gets well out of the way before you can clunk him on the back of the head with a wrench or something. But so yeah, you can see sort of the front gate of the front blast door. Hesmet sort of kind of halfway, pulling what apparently appears to be a surviving stormtrooper. You don't know how. Up kind of halfway to his feet and kind of dragging him off the side and handing him off to a couple of the techs. Everybody else is clearly dead. The gates, that front gate is never going to play piano again. But other than that,
I guess we're leaving home.
Yeah. There's either that or you're going to need some really like a irresponsible amount of mosquito netting for the front of this place. Otherwise, the inside of the base is just going to be unlivable really quick. Certainly the garage will. So, what do? You've got the one speeder bike. You can get back there.
Right.
Probably.
And I still have the hard line on
Yes. So you can radio
to
them
the
as
base.
well. Well, radio. You can contact them as well. What do you do?
First, I'll contact them because we talked to them earlier.
Yep.
So,
you get Alir. So, oh wait, I don't want you to talk to Alir because you guys can never hear each other. Wait, Catherine, can you hear Margie?
Yeah.
Okay, you get Alir then. If the connection suddenly becomes spotty, it's because the explosion damaged the hard line between here and the base.
got it.
All right.
And we can Hesme again.
Yeah, you can blame Hesmet. It's perfect.
Yeah.
So you get a hold of Alir because she's right at the comm station, currently melting down or infecting mainframes. So go.
Nice. Okay, so that sounded very effective.
Yeah, that did sound effective.
I like how she sounds a little bit surprised by that.
Do we know what the status is outside of the immediate vicinity beyond the blast doors?
Probably slightly smoldering.
There doesn't seem to have been any alerts that have gone up on Imperial channels as far as you can tell, Alir. So,
But
to answer that question, it doesn't seem to. I mean, it happened so abruptly. There hasn't even been a call for a check-in or anything like that on the comms. So,
Okay, so we're bugging out. Do you need me to do anything to the listening post? Or can she slag it from there?
with the hard line, she should be able to just infect it from where she is. That shouldn't be a problem.
Okay.
There's a couple. Most of the terminals over there are dumb. There's one that's like a standalone. Well, it's its own. It's got its own computing power, but that's easy enough to infect from where she's at. So.
Okay.
if you feel like it, take up a hydro spanner and hit anything you like.
I lent mine to Ghana.
Lux like when you say that over the comms, he's like, "Oh, I'm just going to back away then, because as much as I admire your efficiency, your enthusiasm for taking those sorts of commands literally is really a little bit more than my skull can bear right now."
Okay, so do we have anything useful in this space that we're going to want to take with us?
Lux raises his hand.
Yeah, thank you. And then is there any way that I can like severely damage the disc here?
The dish?
The tower? Mm-hmm.
You could throw Lux at it. It has a hard head.
You'd need...
I mean, it's surviving the jungle, so I'm assuming it's pretty hardy.
Yeah, it's definitely it's meant to be this kind of like in this kind of environment. An explosion could theoretically damage it, but how do you rig that is the trick.
Right.
Yes, probably if you weren't that attached to having a speeder bike when you were done.
Yeah.
But if you are, I would say probably no.
Okay. Alir, can you check with Hesmet, see if it's okay for me to come in with company?
Sure. Are the comms still working, or did Hesmet damage?
Yeah, he's just talking really loud whenever he answers.
It's in my good ear.
You have a good ear?
He has an ear. He has an ear that functions. You take what you can get. You take what you can get. All right, so talk to Hesmet.
So,
Hey, Hesmet, how are things looking down there?
Gruesome.
Are more explosions going to go off?
Well, I figure once everybody has everything out of the barracks, I kind of wanted to set off a grenade in there because I hate those beds.
The only real reason he needs.
Yeah.
Okay, can you hold off? Because Akana is coming in with some company.
Like, do I need to set up another explosion? Because I don't think I have enough shrapnel for that one. No,
I
wait.
don't know.
Good company.
Supposedly friendly company.
Oh, okay.
Or at least restrained company.
Well, tell her to take a a slow walk of it. I'll have the front yard cleared out of all the bodies here in like 10, 15 minutes.
Well, I have the speeder, so
Yeah, you're going to get there a little bit earlier than he's in. Than they'll be.
Well-
Stormtroopers die relatively cleanly. You know, relatively clean.
contained.
It's relatively.
The
Clean.
armor helps keep it all in.
Yeah. Okay. So Akana, you roll in about like five minutes later or so. Hesmet and a couple other guys have got, well, you know, the main. Clearly, I mean, the rubble's still around. The bodies are kind of off to the side, sort of lined up.
So where's backup?
I thought it was with you.
No,
He's not with me.
we bugged out separately.
Well, that's not good.
Is backup's the one that hit me with the stun grenade? Then yes. I'm just trying to keep track of everyone's names.
Yes.
Not assigning any blame. Just
Yes.
all right.
Backup is
Oh,
the one
it's
who
this
used
guy.
the stun grade so you wouldn't get shot. Yes.
Hello,
Thank you.
Senator Lux Terry, also your fulcrum contact for this operation from the rebellion. He offers his hand.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna be like one hand like down by my pistol and or my blaster, and it's just like, man, I could save myself a lot of headache with Saw. I just
Yes.
But aren't you going to piss with Saul right now, anyways?
yes, that's why I'm not.
Well, yes, we were. I was hoping to deal with you directly. We weren't actually trying to liaise with Saw to this time. Certainly,
Talk normal.
I wasn't planning
Kneecaps
on.
are still on the table.
What's that?
I said, talk normal. Kneecaps are still on the table.
I would very much like to work with you and not Saw. How's that?
I think that's kind of obvious.
Yeah, Saw wants to kill you. I think we're your only options.
Which is why I would really like to work with you and not Saw. I mean, the rebellion still would like to work with Saw. I personally would prefer not. He seems to be holding a grudge. So the last time we spoke, we got along very well, but since then, apparently, well, there's been a few misunderstandings. Now, I think Hesmet would have heard lots of Saw rants regarding the Senate and Bonterry's part in the Senate.
I've probably heard this story like a dozen times.
Oh, God, yes. You don't, it's like, there's a lot of that, oh, God, don't get him started kind of, muttering. If they want a little entertainment around the campfire, they just say, dude, ask him about.
Ask him about how he lost his leg.
Like when something weird, when something weird happens or anything happens around Onderon and there's any kind of news at all, somebody will like ask a new guy to go, hey, dude, ask him what he thinks the Senate thinks about all this. No, go ask him. Ask him. He likes to know that you're involved in knowledgeable about the politics, the galactic politics and stuff. Just ask him. And yeah, that never goes well.
Okay. I'm actually more concerned about backup. So,
Okay.
Is there some place where I can shove him where I don't have to knock him out? Because I really don't want to deal with him right now. We have stuff to do, things to decide.
I would love to speak with your comm officer. Her work has been exemplary. I just wanted to see if there was anything else I can do in terms of gathering up. I gather you're bugging out. I'd love to be able to help identify any key intelligence and keep us having to do extra work, hauling anything else out of here.
My job.
No, he's assisting. He's assisting. Many hands make light work.
Yeah, we have 50 techs. We don't need you. I don't really trust this guy. He waves around a world called Fulcrum, and I'm supposed to think, oh, he's so good.
Fulcrum. Fulcrum.
And
We
you saw
actually we actually sent a message to your comms officer that I would be coming. I would also like to ask her if that message didn't get through, so we can solve that problem going forward. Since it's a bit of a problem if I show up and no one knows who I am.
Hey, Alir,
Eh?
did you hear anything from the?
I love that. Eh?
Yeah.
Did you hear anything you were going to say? Sorry.
Sorry. Yeah. Have you heard anything about a fulcrum or something like that from our friends in the sky?
Probably about this time, Husband's like scratching his head, like, where have I heard that before?
Just don't scratch the side without an ear. That'll hurt.
It scratches
I
around the
might
ear plate. You might have. Is that what you
I
said?
might kind of busy downloading bad stuff onto computers.
You'd have to check the last communique from the rebellion probably. If she's not. I mean, do you want her to check? She can check really quick.
Yeah. Check quick. Husband, keep an eye on him. He's got a nice soft spot on the back of his head. Good for pounding.
Oh,
No,
yes.
I'm not going to hit him.
Oh,
Much?
that's not remote.
No.
That's not nearly as comforting as I don't imagine you meant it to be comforting. Never mind. All right, so yeah, I mean, the lyric can check in like 10 seconds. There's a message in there saying, you know why she didn't track it. It's the line immediately after there's too much data coming in. We need to trim down the communications, otherwise they're going to be able to trace it too easily. And she goes off on this rant. She doesn't really read the rest of the thing because she's sort of like, you son of a rat! Tell me how to the signal did security and so on. We're gonna. So the next line after that is Fulcrum. The Fulcrum agent for your sector is being infiltrated into Onderon to make contact for coordination with the rebellion, with the larger rebellion forces. Please be ready. Call signs to follow. And here's a bullet list of some of the stuff that Lux has been saying to you. Hasn't been conversation as him sort of trying to casually work the call signs into the conversation. So yeah, he may not be an arrogant prick so much he could be, but at least some of the dialogue he's selecting has been because that's what he was supposed to say to tell you that he is who he is. And you guys just didn't, any of you know the call signs.
Nice.
Yes.
Well, now they know better than to defend information like that.
Yes. Yes.
In my defense, I was moping.
In
my defense, I was ranting.
I'm not sure if that's really defense. To be clear, I wasn't particularly worried, says Lux, about the fact that you didn't know the countersigns. I was still fairly sure that rebellion, because in my experience, whenever I've made contact, at least half the time nobody knows the count, has received the countersigns. So it's actually a bit of a comfort, more than half, really. It was actually a bit of a comfort that you didn't know. I would have been worried if you had, because it was it'd be so atypical. So no harm, no foul. Well, okay, some harm, but no foul.
Now he's damning us with faint praise.
No.
I really want to not hit him now.
I told you.
I don't want to hit him. Okay, so once you verified that, what do you want to do with regards to backup? How are you going to approach that?
Which of the three? How does one find a backup?
Onderon?
Well,
World of Onderon?
World of Onderon.
Okay.
I need to hide those other ones so they don't show up anymore. World of Onderon. Duron.
Okay, so we need to figure out where backup is. Alir, do you have any kind of tracking on him?
Ooh.
You know, because we don't want to lose him.
Yes,
Excuse me.
as long as you don't tell him.
Well, no,
Test.
actually, that's probably
Why
not true.
can't I hear
But
anything?
I can hear you. We can hear
Hi,
Dave.
Dave.
Can you hear me? Because
Yes.
I cannot hear you.
We can
I
hear
can-
you.
We can hear you, Darren.
Great.
All right. As you're thinking, I was like, man, I really should have put a tracker on backup. Tour Alir says, actually, I have an encrypted direct line, communication line to backup that we may be able to utilize to connect with him, if you like.
I think that would be a good idea, Tour.
Hey, Tori, you're not trying to kill me.
Yes. I mean, no. No, I am not. That is correct. You are correct. I am not. Well done on that, by the way. Very pleased to not be killing you at the moment.
Cannot hear anything.
Sorry, Dave.
Still can't hear anything.
Did you try
Output?
Reconnect?
reconnecting?
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe the output. Hang on. Let me type it in. While Dave is working on that, I'm going to talk to Bill. Hey, backup.
Yo.
So, okay. Well, some of this, I really want to have this conversation with going around here.
Well,
I like it.
She can.
Dave's time lag just long enough where he's experiencing all the stuff that we experienced an hour ago.
Okay, he's off. Quick,
Okay.
talk to Bill.
Well, yeah, but I wanted to have this conversation with. Okay.
Oh, I thought you said without.
No, with Ghana.
The characters are
Well,
both
here-
there. So.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I wanted to
Hold
have.
on.
We'll get him on there. It's fine. He'll reconnect
Just
you.
take my headset. You're in the scene, so just take my headset. I'll play with that.
Okay, reconnect and see if I can make it work.
Okay.
please.
Give it a shot. It's all good. Hello?
Test.
Yes.
Yay!
Can you
We
hear
hear
us?
you.
I still cannot hear anything.
Oh, that's.
But the headphones are working because I get sound off my computer. I'm just not getting sound off of the game. I
Everybody,
want to receive video and voice.
everybody reconnect.
What if I just want to receive voice?
Everybody reconnect. How about now, Dave?
Somebody say something.
Something.
Joyce already did.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just reconnected. I don't see Dave or Mike. There's Mike.
I don't. The headphones aren't going to make any difference, dear, because
Yeah, it's not broadcasting audio.
If you want to come sit at my computer for this scene, I can continue to play with yours to try and get connection.
I don't have any other alternative. I like being able to sit at my own desk and have my own business. So I understand.
It's okay, Dave. We can do a different scene until you get it squared away. Catherine, your picture of the three hats, there's a picture of you from when you were a very, very little girl, and you've got like a little straw hat on, you're waving around a toy sword, and I swear to God, it's that hat. Anyway. Okay. Hello,
Hello.
That is.
Margie, if that is your name. Okay, so you and backup are hurrying through the alleyways of Aziz, having with Saw slung over your shoulders between the two of you. So hurrying as much as you can, trying to look sticking to alleyways. So you need some place that's close, and you need some place that isn't going to get your family shot. And
Right. So the home shop or anything like that is not going to be where we want to go.
I don't. It probably doesn't.
Hey, do we still have access codes into the palace?
Oh, that's a place for Saw Gerrera, yeah.
Well, he's unconscious. I mean,
I think a security camera might pick him up. I don't know.
No one would expect him or us to be there.
I like how when you hit rock bottom, you try to drill.
It's like nobody expects the Onderon Inquisition.
Nobody expects us to hide in the palace. Well, that's one idea.
We could probably find a communication channel back to the base from there.
There's probably 6.
Not
Yeah. I mean, okay. So let's keep that idea in our back pocket. Any other possibilities? Someone who might help you and is not somebody that you're necessarily super scared about putting in danger.
Is there anybody that I met? I mean, my new bestest friend, as far as I know, is still up on the ship.
Right.
But did I meet any friends of hers or anything like that?
Well, the junk dealer you got the droid from.
Kavya Slen.
Yes. She is
True. Yeah.
nominally friendly. She...
At least until we show up with Saw Gerrera slung over our backs.
Well, that may or may not. I mean, I don't know that it may hurt one way or the other. So you've got Kavya here. She seems to have some strong reaction to backup, or at least his face. So that's neither here nor there. But well, actually, it is kind of relevant. But in any case, and she's nearby. So
I'm voting for that. I don't know how you feel.
I think that sounds good. We might be able to
she's likely to
find
be
some parts to do some maintenance on your arm too.
She's likely to be outraged that you are dumping or bringing a resistance fighter directly into her shop. That's presumably.
Is she going to know him? I mean, it's Saw Gerrera's face on want ads, wanted posters around the city.
Saw has been a resistance fighter for going on 2 decades on Onderon. So yeah, he's kind of known.
Can we put a bag over his head?
Not
that I want to be dishonest, but we should probably put a bag over his head anyway as we're running through the city with him over our shoulders.
Well, yeah, you got like I said. Like I said, it's nearby, and you guys can probably stick to the alleys. Not too big of a problem. So
okay.
And she's going to be she's going to be a little bit incensed just because backup rolled in. I'm not sure that this just gives him one more thing to complain about. It doesn't really change the fact that she's going to be at least acting annoyed one way or the other. Okay, so. While you guys are doing this, so you catch up. Like, how did you? I don't know if backup would ask questions about how she got there. If you'd ask questions about how backup, because you had the vision thing, didn't you, Dave? Is that right? You had the vision.
Yes, I had a vision thing.
But you don't really know how it all came to be. How all that mess came to pass. So
backup is not the sort of person who's going to ask where reinforcements came from.
Right.
He's kind of sure with it, but like if questioned, he'll talk about it. So I mean, go ahead.
Especially if they're force sensitive. Backup.
What's going? Why was sawing your? What the heck was going on?
Saw Gerrera captured me while I was trying to exfiltrate after we grabbed Lug Sponteri.
The senator
That's right.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't like Lux very much.
Well, that was a
But-
problem for me, so we intervened.
Well, okay. But that doesn't justify his cutting off your arm. That's
I
like
have a spare.
that's rude and inappropriate. And really, is it? Is it just like is it is it the same? Is it a backup? Is it the same model or does it in other words, is it going to be an upgrade or do you need some help with the repairs and that? Because I can totally help with that.
Yeah, I'm going to need some help getting rearmed.
God.
I hear what you did there.
Between you two, the dad jokes, the Star Wars dad jokes are getting a little bit thick on the ground. Oh my God.
I guess I'll have to find a special joint to hide in to do that.
I'm going to hurt you both. And
Here,
I'm going to
I can give Ghana a hand with that.
Oh God. I'm suddenly
Then we'll be well armed.
Oh, stop. Oh.
Just going out on a limb here.
Well,
Not
I'm glad he stopped at the forearm. I'm just glad he stopped at the forearm. I don't think I could shoulder a burden of actually losing much more than that.
Better be forewarned than forearmed.
Stop.
Although, we could add a couple more and then you really would be... never mind. That probably wouldn't work.
No.
I think we killed Joyce.
No, I'm just wishing for death. Okay.
Well, this is why I joined the army.
Oh. That's...
And took up arms. Yeah.
The entire planet rejects you from its surface. No, okay. All right.
We'll cut it out. It's okay.
Oh. I feel like I'm in a Reddit thread. Oh my God. Stop. All right.
Yes. The even passed out drunks in the alleys are looking up and glaring at us
like,
as we run past.
stop. I'm not drunk enough for this. Okay. I think actually between the shock of having your limb nearly severed, and actually honestly the shock that the series of shocks that Ghana has been going through over the course of the last day or so, it's actually fair to say that some of this is kind of in character just because they've been Catherine.
I figured some of it was just because he's not in good functional shape. Yeah.
No, yeah, but between the two of you, there's some of this is actually happening just because you know the thing where you get so tired that everything is funny, that you guys are actually just keep making arm jokes while you're lugging Saw through the, or Saw jokes or cut jokes, and yeah, the puns just. So you're both kind of halfway chortling, snickering to yourselves as you kind of stumble through the front door of the shop and back
We look
up.
at her with our most disarming gazes.
Do either of you just mutter something like "Honey, I'm home," or is that a bridge too far?
No.
No, nobody says that. Okay, she just looks and she's like.
Can we go into the back room?
Yes,
real
back
quick?
room.
Yeah.
No talking, walking.
But
all right. So she looks. So you guys get him in. It kind of dumps on the corner.
You know what? I'm gonna find a bench. I'm gonna just let Saw slump down. I'm going to stand there for a moment, kind of look at the stump of this arm. I'm going to look at my other hand. I got this blaster, still set on stun. I'll just let out a sigh and shoot Saw again.
Just with the stun
And
gun?
I'll sit in.
She's like,
Just
really?
thinking.
Really? Because she's looking at, is that sucker? Ah! shit. There is a backblast off of that, you know? Fingers are going to be numb.
Would you rather he woke up?
No.
Yeah.
So
Sorry about this, because if you had told me this morning that I was going to be hiding out in your back room with someone like him or him, and I would have apologized in advance.
I believe that. Where's the droid?
Although that wasn't really what was on my mind when I woke up this morning. But anyway, that's another story.
Where's the droid I sold you?
Why do you want to know?
Is it within 20 kilometers? Because you could bring it here and maybe some parts that we can use for his arm. Not that I'm trying to cannibalize your droid.
Off of my droid?
Well, okay. You can recall it or not. You can choose to recall it.
Well, yes, I think we should recall it.
It's in good hands. Don't worry.
Oh God, he can't stop.
I get my comlink and call up Artie and tell him to home in on my location.
Okay,
discreetly.
Yeah. Yes, he can just roll down through the streets. Nobody pays attention. Nobody pays attention to a droid. That is an interesting question, Dave. Back to the technical things. Is it possible that specific? Oh no. Well, is that?
I closed it and opened up a new tab. So
okay, so it isn't.
It shouldn't be muted.
Huh. That's so weird. That's so weird. And not a little annoying. Okay. So backup not one to question. All right. So you know the backup was thing, and they've got Lux Ventari. So Kavia says, all right, scale of 1 to 10, how incredibly doomed am I right now?
Probably a 2.
Only around a 2, really. You've got, I'm fairly certain, saw Guerrera unconscious on my floor. You have been chewed on by something mechanical. You are wearing.
Saw.
Yeah.
He did that.
Oh, I see. Oh, well.
Can you believe?
Yeah, that is ironic. You are wearing part of a stormtrooper outfit that I'm pretty sure you didn't get off of a rack somewhere. So I am both regretting our previous business associations and kind of hating myself a little bit right now. But that's neither here nor there. I'm just trying to understand how likely Imperials are to suddenly descend on my shop and shoot everybody. You say it too.
There really is no reason why they should. I mean, nobody saw us come in here. Saw doesn't know he's here. I'm pretty certain I don't have a tracker on me. And so,
give me a favor, Dave, and act under pressure. Just roll an act under pressure.
Can you roll an act under pressure?
You can do it over there. You can pull up the character sheet.
Oh, I guess I can. Never mind.
Yeah. I mean, it'll show up as Margie rolling Dave's character, but it doesn't really matter.
Act under pressure. That's cool.
Yep. Just click your cool. Oh. Okay.
Donna, we know you're in there. Come out.
TK4261. Come out, and you will not be declared AWOL.
What is that? Oh, that's the serial number. There's a funny story behind this.
Okay. All right. So,
can you mark an XP for me?
I'm sure that I'm not. You can do that on your character sheet, Dave.
Oh, never mind. I keep forgetting.
Well, actually, never mind. I take that back. Maybe you can't. Hang on, I can do that.
Well, let's find out.
I'm not sure. I think that's editing.
I can.
All right, there you go. You can just.
Hey, that cleans me out for.
Maxes you out.
fills me out.
Consider what you want to do about that, because you may be using you may need something to be better right now, really soon.
Sooner rather than later.
Yep. Okay, so I don't think that I have a tracer on me, and she's like, "Are you kidding me? Give me that chest plate quickly! I need to get it into." Saw's kind of, well, he's out because he got shot again.
He just got zapped again.
You're so back up. Your arm is only about halfway through on the forearm. It's not. It's still the hand's there. It's just not functional.
Okay.
She's like, I might have something. That's a old like a BT commando unit, right, from the Clone Wars.
BX-1, 4th generation, 7th deployment of the Separatist Army.
Okay, I don't know if I've got that. I might have something.
I'm not picky.
A lot of it's compatible from the elbow down. It just might be heavier. Oh, yeah, heavier. All right. Stay here and right. Okay.
Hey, before you go,
yes.
Backup's going to look her straight in the eye. I'm not going to let you get sucked into this. So thank you for helping us. You will not come into danger.
Okay. All right. At which point in time, as soon as the stormtroopers show up, you immediately grab her and pretend she's a hostage and put a gun to her head. And she's like, "That's not what this is not."
In combat, when you help someone escape, roll rugged.
Oh, very nice. Okay, so right. Okay. Just playing my way through all this. All right. So about 10 minutes go by, during which she rummages, unhooks your lower forearm. Ghana's droid rolls in. Ghana whispers,
Marty!
Ghana whispers, my precious, under her breath.
Is it secret? Is it safe?
Anyway, no, Mr. Frodo. Anyway, and she's like, okay, yeah. So she pulls out. I gotta think of what these things are called. They are. I don't remember what they're called. Those guys. I don't know what they're called though. Hang on. Come on. There we go. Work. And again, people who are looking at this, like watching the recording of it, are like, I know what he's getting. All right. This will work. Close enough. So she pops off the elbow thing, is doing this. She's working on your arm while Ghana's sort of watching the front. These were not the rebels I was looking for. All right, I don't know who's doing the commentary on the board, but that's pretty good. We will share this thing here. My dogs will go crazy in the background. What is this drawing that Catherine is sharing? Do I want to know? Oh yeah, we've already gone over that. Well spotted.
What did I do?
Oh, the drawing of Gollum in the holocron. Okay, so yeah, there you go. So Ghana and the droid are sort of watching the front there. You stripped off the chest plate thing, and she put it inside of like this sort of reinforced locker. She has pulled up what looks like a second generation arm
A B2.
armature for the B2 combat droid. And is attaching that to the elbow down on your arm. So that right arm there.
Does it have the weaponry still on it?
Yes. She's trying to figure out if she can actually get it to do anything with the power supply that the arm's already running off of. Maybe
That's
not,
really cool.
maybe not much, but maybe like at least a couple of shots, 5 or 6, maybe. Not a lot.
Can I roll to assist or?
Yes, you may absolutely roll to assist if backup is willing.
Here, backup. Can I play with your internals here?
You got another power supply? Wait a second. We need a droid. Like if somebody.
Oh, wait a second. We could reroute the power from this part of you to this part. That would be awesome.
You'd be able to shoot like you'd never run out of power, but you'd have a really bad limp, because the one leg would really not really.
But no one would laugh at you because you'd have a freaking laser on your arm.
Oh my god. You get it functional. Oh my god. Do I want to know?
I'm going to. Do I want to know here?
Swiss Army machine gun, very nice. I was actually thinking of that one picture of Abraham Lincoln where the Gatling gun is mounted to his arm, with just the heading underneath of it that just says steampunk. Okay.
So, do I need to roll like a tech whiz thing?
Yeah. Why don't you?
Or?
Yeah. Why don't you roll? Was it not clever? Canny.
Kenny.
Yep. Hopefully she. Oh, you just did. Look at you. Or Margie did. Margie rolled it for you.
No, I did.
Or no,
Well,
never
no,
mind.
I rolled it on
Sorry.
Margie's computer.
I'm terribly confused. All right. So yeah, you guys are working on that before Ghana gets back in there and starts going. Kavya says, I always seem to end up patching you and your brothers up just before you hightail it off of this planet. I'm assuming that's what's about to happen again.
Might be.
You're just not getting me involved again, right?
You want to be?
You know, I did. For a long time, I would have gone with all of you. And now part of me still wants to, and part of me would just like you out of my shop. So I think probably...
But this is your opportunity to make a difference for the rebellion. I mean... We're going to make sure you're safe if you decide to stay here. I mean, there's no question about that. Or it's like the stormtroopers are about to kick in and you won't have any choice. But if you were to make that choice, think of the good you could do. I mean, the rebellion needs technically advanced people.
There's a scene I'm thinking of from this British, I think it's a romantic comedy, where like this one like hyper enthusiastic, almost Pomeranian level enthusiastic younger person is like really going crazy, and this sort of background music just sort of comes in, so you can't really hear her what she's saying while she's gesticulating, and the two grown-ups in the room are just sort of having a conversation with just eye-to-eye contact, where it's kind of like, you know, you understand? Of course I understand. And no hard feelings? Of course not. Of course not. I'm not him. I was never going to be him. You're not who you were. Blah, blah, blah. And all this is happening while Ghana's in the background, like, recruiting. She's having
waving the
and
rebel flag.
This is like, I mean, what I want to be able to find and share is the gift set of, there's a bit in about the second or third time that Oz and Willow meet or interact on Buffy, where they have their entire conversation with a couple of like slightly over-emoted facial expressions. And then they sort of like half wave to each other and walk off. And it's basically like that, but even more like stoic. So remarkable for that thing. And that's kind of how the conversation goes, where you know, the understanding that occurs is that, you know, Backup very understandingly, you know, obviously understands that he's not whoever she's wound up about. She's not the same person. She's not being apologetic, but she kind of wishes that she were apologetic about it. Maybe. Kind of. She's regretful. And somewhere in the middle of that, she connects a hose and the arm kind of powers up and the fingers all work. And when you go like this, the barrels come popping forward a little bit, which is, it feels really weird. It feels like you've broken your wrist, but it doesn't hurt. And the barrels kind of slide out and feels like you've got, it kind of tingles like a funny bone sort of thing, but like it's ready to go, like what the firing thing feels like. And Ghana interrupts herself like midstream and goes, "Oh, hey, it's working." And, you know, anyway, what do you think about what I was saying? And Kavi's like, shrugs, looked at you like, I don't know what was she, maybe another time.
Yeah.
Take what you can get, girl. It's all right.
Okay.
All right. Well,
we will fight the good fight on your behalf like we do for everyone else.
as smoothly as this is going, I'm sure that you'll be able to get out of here without anybody. TK4261, you have been declared AWOL. Please exit the building and turn yourself over to Imperial Police.
2K461. Who's that?
Why does that number sound familiar?
Why does that sound familiar?
That was the
Oh,
serial
crap.
number on the back of your breastplate that wasn't being traced.
Should I put the breastplate back on before I go out? Or, okay.
Don't go back. Are you crazy? Is she really this crazy?
No. I will go back out and I will distract them. They don't know anyone else is here. You guys can hide, or you guys can duck out the back with Saw, because we don't want them to catch him as much as he's really not a nice guy. And I'll be okay. Don't worry about it.
Or you could go out through the secret exit that leads into the sewers just below, just one level down, and get out that way.
But what about your shop?
I've got a story for that, I think. Probably. Yes, I've got somebody came through here and sold me the stuff and I bought it, and I'll get dinged a fine for buying contraband thing, and I don't know which way they went after they sold me their gear. They were just looking for spending money, and then they were heading towards the starport. I'll tell them they were looking towards the starport. You get out of here.
You are a true friend of the rebellion. Thank you.
I like how you grab the camera to make it move even more, Dave. That's a nice touch. Fine. No, it's fine. They'll forget me, and everybody will forget me. It'll be fine.
We will never forget.
You know, I can't let that guy go by. Backup will just be like, not everyone.
I would like to meet. You know, sometimes you lot are annoyingly romantic at times. Go, take that lug with you.
Yes, absolutely. Bill, can you get our backup? Can you get that lug?
Yeah, I'll get some out of here.
Here, I'll help.
So as you're picking him up, and they're like, if you do not exit the building, she goes, you go. I will go out and act confused. Just get out of here before they come back here and whatever. As you are headed down into the basement, you're getting a signal from Tour, And you hear Kabia heading out the front saying, "Son of a, I knew that was contraband when he sold it to me. Hang on, I'm coming out, my hands are up. Don't shoot me, I'm just a sucker who bought something I shouldn't have." She's walking out into the street. And Tour is signaling you on the priority alert thing that you guys had set up. Because the hits just keep on coming.
All right, we'll take it.
Tour, go.
Not you. Back up.
Oh.
It's in his head thing.
Back up. Your head's beeping.
I'll relay for Ghana's benefit.
Yeah,
Okay.
you'll get half of the conversation. Captain, the base has been physically compromised. That's by Hesmet, who was doing it to defend against an arrival of a platoon of Imperial Fleet stormtroopers. They have all been, well, that's important to denote, not working for the MOF. They did not appear to know that the base was held by, they appear to have assumed that the base was still held by MOF forces. And they have all been eliminated except for one. We were concerned that you had not, Akana was concerned that you had not returned to the base after rescuing, after kidnapping. I'm not sure what word to use in this case. Senator Bonteri, who is here and apparently a rebellion contact that was sent with the appropriate passcodes that we were not privy to. And you hear Alir in the background saying, "I was busy." What is your status? Do you need assistance? And how soon can you get back to this base?
I'm with Ghana right now. I had to make a visit to the armory. We're heading back now.
To the armor. Oh, God. I was actually trying to parse that, and then I realized what was going on. So, all right.
We need to obtain transportation, and we can rendezvous with you folks wherever you are.
So that begs the question: where do you guys want to be? Do you want to get out of the base, or what do you want to do? You can. We got 20 people, and you've got a couple of. You got a couple of vehicles. Akana's there. You can get out. It's a question of where do you go? Where do you want to meet up? You could go to the village. You could go to the signal the Beast Riders, I guess. You could go to the Resistance space, one of the Resistance bases.
Let's have a quick
shifting.
If we can get
Are we shifting over to Akana? Because in that case, I will.
Well, I'm not
give
sure.
The working.
I'm not. Tour is asking backup right now, or they're coordinating just to figure out where to meet up.
Okay.
I think we need to meet at Not Saw's place.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
If we have some good contacts with the natives or villagers, that would be.
What about those ruins that you rescued the villagers from in the first place?
Oh, the really safe ruins with no monsters.
Yes.
Those?
The criminal ruins actually probably be even better. The ones where you guys fought the Black Sun guys.
Oh, they're not still there?
No. No.
They have been dealt with.
That was a week ago. They a week or two ago. They retreated.
That's fair.
Having had their ship taken from them, they got out as well as they could.
They just seem like the sorts of people who might come back.
Well, they might. They could certainly come back.
That's what I'm worried about.
Well, you should, because I've still got that one thing to do to you. So we'll see how that goes.
Let's meet where that's not likely to happen. I don't know. I'll give them some coordinates in the jungle. How about that?
Yeah, you guys can give them random coordinates out in the jungle that you guys have that you sort of scouted out and figured would be clear, relatively clear. They're not going to be.
Yeah, we'll rendezvous there.
Okay. You guys set up some coordinates in the jungle. Get out of the base. Grab as much crap as you can. Evacuate. And we'll rendezvous at position X.
Okay.
And you guys just need to steal a ship. So yeah, you can go through navigate the tunnels. Do I have a move for that? No, I don't. I do, but I'm not going to use it. There's a really great dungeon. Actually, no, I take that back. Go ahead and roll. What would it be? Canny.
Well, who's rolling?
Backup. If you want, Ghana, you can roll to assist if you want to. Like you can roll to help, which is just rolling and adding the bond. It's not gonna especially matter necessarily, but okay. So you can get up to a 9. I'm just gonna pull this up real quick because I like this. That's all I want.
Oh, this is the Revel move. Yeah.
No, not the rebel move. This is there's a move that I really like, and I'm going to use it.
I was hoping we just get out of the city and have a party. I mean, just
Well, you will.
Okay.
It's
We are the Revel Alliance.
Revel? No. Oh God. No, not the Revel. I thought you said rebel move.
See, Dave's feeling it.
I'm looking. No, no.
We're the Revel
There we
Alliance.
go. That's no, you're not, and stop saying that. On a 10 plus, you arrive where you intend and you don't get filth all over yourself. On a 7 to 9, pick one or the other.
Filth is fine.
Filth is fine. I just.
I do arm dirty.
When you navigate the sewers to move around the city undetected, roll clever and roll candy on a 10 plus. The thing is, it's if you're trying to use the sewers to sneak into the castle, or into the palace or something like that, then yeah, the filth is actually a downside. In your case, not so much. So you come out and you basically just need to, where do you want to come out?
Is 2R in a position to send a speeder bike to pick us up?
He could. Ooh. The trick there is that any bike that he brings is going to. Him and somebody else could bring one. Yes. Or
that'd be fine.
Okay. Who wants to go with 2R to pick you guys? Okay, Hesmet. Please get me away from everything else. All right, Hesmet. That's like I just want to be there when. All right.
Hold on. I have hold for bottling it up, and he rolled badly on his moth to the flame. I want to be there.
That's just never going to be good. All right. So you guys sneak out of the city via the sewer pipes, and actually you get out to one of those ones that's on the side of the cliff, and the speeder bikes just sort of like you guys come up to that pipe basically to pick you guys up. So Tour's there, and Hesmet, and I guess do you leave Saw at the mouth of the sewer pipe and just let him wake up here?
Fuck no, I'm taking him with us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sling him over the speeder bike. How bad could it be?
No. Right. This is good. This is going to work out great.
This is going to work out great. It's going to be great. I'm sure it's going to be great. All right. Ghana, in all this time you guys have been walking around, have you explained anything of what you discovered at all with regards to the Imperial
the
camp.
prison camp, internment camp.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably at some point in time, I start to think about the conversation probably comes up about the armor and the camp.
Oh yeah.
And
how did you get the? So funny story about how I came to acquire that stormtrooper armor.
That is going to be a great story some other time. But while I had it earlier, I found myself in the middle of an Imperial internment camp here on Onderon, and we have to do something about it. We have to free those people somehow.
Back up. Any immediate responses to that while you're waiting for the speeder bikes to show up?
It's like, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we need to.
Absolutely. I agree.
I slap him on the shoulder.
That's not.
Wrong shoulder.
Sorry, wrong shoulder.
No. That's not. Those are all collaborate. Actually,
I'm sorry. Is this Saw waking up?
It's Saw. It's like he rattles off like 4 coordinates, like sort of longitude, latitude coordinates. Those are all the bases. We've tracked all of them. Those are all collaborators or people who volunteered for labor camps as a trade-off to having their villages taken over. They're not really prisoners.
Excuse me, I was actually there, and there are actual fences and gates and guards hitting people with the butts of rifles, and they are most certainly prisoners.
Well, which one was it? And he rattles off the coordinates again to like the 4 places.
Does that match any of the coordinates that I have?
Nope.
Are the coordinates?
Nope.
It would be, and she rattles off the coordinates.
You don't know the coordinates, but you know the village that used to be there.
Okay. I thought I'd looked it up on the GPS, but maybe that
you could, but
okay.
it's quicker almost to say that it's X village.
It was at X village. It was at the XX village.
All right. That
Saw.
I have literally had people stationed in the ruins of that village within the last 9 months. There was nobody there then. You're saying that there's a camp there now?
Yeah. And it's like got a big warehouse full of AT-ATs and Imperial guards, and it seems to be run and staffed by the fleet, not by the Moff.
Overlapped with what you're saying, he's saying like while you were saying that last bit, he's like the Moff doesn't have any and you're like saying staffed by the Imperial fleet, and he's like
staffed by the Imperial fleet.
Hey, Saw. They got some blasters too, and I'll stun him again.
A little bit unhappy with the arm thing, aren't you?
I'm trying to decide whether she's happy or sad that this has been whether the conversation's been short-circuited since she had finally made a point.
Conflicted is a good word.
Yeah, conflicted is a good word. All right, so the bikes show up. I might not be able to use Mike's points, but I've remembered how many there are. And I might not be able to use the Moth to the Flame yet, but I'm going to remember because we unfortunately got started late because of both people and technical problems. Can Margie at least hear what's going on?
Not at the moment, but I can put her on.
All right. You guys can team up. Gather up. I want people to... Once everybody gets in the same place again.
We need you to at least be hearing.
Can you
you should put in the middle of your
I can't hear anything.
Okay.
I can't talk.
Okay. Well, apparently the technical situation deteriorated even further while I was here. I can switch.
You switch back to the because we'll put
Okay.
Just the headset, not the one to be.
They need you.
Help me, Akanawan. You're my only hope.
People are on the move.
Okay, and I have that. Oops.
Okay.
Okay. Hello.
Hi.
Okay. Help me, Akanawan. You're our only hope.
Test.
Okay. Hey,
I
what
can
the?
hear you.
Right.
That's not the problem.
Oh, you can't hear us. That's the problem. Is
So
that
we
it?
can hear you, but you can't hear us?
Can you hear us now?
Yes.
Oh my God, was
Me,
it?
but can't hear you.
Wait, you can't hear us. I'm assuming that's a yes since he's not
We
responding.
can hear you and you can't hear us.
Okay, it's not the
Yes.
mic.
Yes.
That's wacky. Okay,
Let me
Horrible.
try restarting my browser.
that's okay. All right. Well, yeah, you do what you need to do, or maybe try it in a different browser. Maybe try like Firefox. I don't know.
I did
Margie.
You can't hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I'm just throwing stuff
Okay.
for Margie to shout. Okay, so we are going to where are we at? That's good enough for here. Okay, so Margie will just have to relay this later. When you guys get back to the it's honestly just a couple of chunks of rubble out in the middle of the. I'm honestly thinking of like where they sort of rendezvoused with the Gungans at towards the end of the Phantom Menace. So it's just a couple of old rubble, like chunks of ruins and stuff like that out in the middle of the jungle. You've got some resistance people there. Backup kind of immediately notes that there's 20 people here that are sort of on loan to you from Saw, and you're rolling in with Saw unconscious, so that's maybe not good. They're not combat people, but it's still not great.
No, I got this on a hook. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm just saying, just I want to make sure that you've got the
I'm pretty
appropriate.
sure I put the fear of Hesman into him.
Oh yeah, well that's more the fear of random detonations that they weren't expecting more than anything else. But okay,
Same thing.
so
Yeah, I don't care.
once you guys get back, we'll kind of speed through a little bit of the catch up here, and I will share this thing so you guys can all see it. I'll put it up where you guys can see it up on the chat thing for the rest of the week or whatever. To get everybody caught up, which you guys don't really need to do in character, you guys get caught. Like, this person is Lux. He's back from the thing. Do you eventually let Saw regain consciousness while this briefing is happening?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Is he restrained? Well, he's unarmed, so that's kind of the main thing.
You're starting it too. That's good.
What's that? God. He is not equipped with weaponry. And is he restrained, or is that lack of weaponry enough?
I'm going to say lack of weaponry is fine.
Okay.
I'm just going to hang out real close to him though.
Okay. Yeah, he doesn't want to get stunned again. He really there are side effects of getting stunned too many times. Of course, one of them is paranoia. So I mean, maybe this already happened to him a couple times. I don't know.
No, he'll wrap around to the other side. He'll be really gullible now. It's fine.
Okay.
So they're rendezvousing. They're just talking about solving their unconscious.
Okay, so Saw is there. He's glaring death at Lux. Lux is paying close attention to whoever's speaking and pretending that he's not paying attention to the fact that Saw's looking daggers at him. Try and resize this a little bit. You guys basically get everybody caught up on what's going on with the base. Apparently, the Admiralty is performing some sort of sanctioned coup, maybe sanctioned, question mark, coup against the Moth and doing something along the lines of a military takeover. He's also apparently whether or not he's done anything to city, there wasn't any activity there that you guys could see. So maybe he's just taking over all the military installations outside the city, and it's hard to say. They did not apparently know that you guys weren't the Moth's people. Not that it really mattered, ultimately. Although I'm going to
Well, maybe it mattered to them.
while yeah, it definitely mattered to them. Ghana gets everybody caught up on, well, not, she's rather vague, but apparently she ended up sort of mixed up with the Imperials, and in the process of passing herself off as a stormtrooper until she could get away, she ended up sort of being carted off to apparently an unregistered prisoner camp. And it's a camp that Saw wasn't aware of, that until very recently wasn't there, and is apparently being run by the Admiralty, not by the Moff. And apparently they're tied in closely enough to the Moff's network that hack that Alir did yesterday screwed up their comms at the camp. And the prisoners that Ghana describes are very atypical. You've got kids there. You've got women there. They're definitely there against their will. And it's definitely not friendly. So something different is going on there. There also appears to be a big central building with AT-ATs, which is also more than a little worrisome. So that's all happening. And
at this point, basically insert that conversation we had on the community about hitting this base.
Right. So, and while this is going on, Ghana is able to describe in a fair amount of detail with like sketching on the ground and that sort of thing, a basic layout of the base. So you'll have to pan around because it's a weird layout, a weird shape. And I'll put this up on the thing where you guys can see it. The big central building there in the middle is where the AT-ATs were at. All the D4s are, all the D4s and D6s are, well, no, the D4s are where the men are kept. The D6s are apparently like where they're doing some sort of assembly work, that sort of thing. The tents and whatnot over in the E1, E2 area where they're keeping all the women and children. The C6 buildings are stormtrooper barracks. And they're also troopers and officers and that sort of thing all through in building F, D8, D7, all that kind of good stuff. Figure all the squiggly lines are like razor wire and stuff like that. So she can sketch this out in a lot of detail and you guys can sort of figure that out, but I wanted to make sure that we had some sort of map that you guys could jaw about and figure out. The C3 towers are different from the C2 towers in that they're like equipped with like lights and that sort of thing for like nighttime stuff, all that kind of, keeping the place lit up. Strong lights, like the big beacons and stuff like that. And as you can kind of see, the whole thing's been built over top of a village. So a lot of these roads here that are kind of weird. And this is like the old like village cemetery, but it's just been like built over with the fences and stuff like that. So some of it's actually inside, all that kind of weird crap. So there you go. That's your jungle village to kind of figure out, mess with, all that kind of stuff. There you go. Saw says, well, these people are obviously these people are important for some reason or another. They're probably keeping the women and children as collateral to force to force the men to stay in line. It could be some of the people that disappeared that we never knew what happened to them, maybe ended up here. And everybody went blank. That's worrisome. My connection to the server has been interrupted. Okay, so I'm going to reconnect and see if that works. And if it doesn't, I'm just going to keep talking and then we'll have everybody watch the video afterwards. Nope. All right, awesome. All right, so I'm going to save up the rest of this, record it, and throw it back up there. All right, so Saw says that, you know what, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to start the next session with what Saw says and what Lux says, because I think that's going to be more relevant. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to wrap up with this, and I'm just going to say good night and upload this video and send it up to everybody. So, guys, it was a really fun time. I hope you get a chance to see this video and at least watch the last 10 minutes of it so you get the summary and stuff. So here's your base. Here's what you can try and do. Saw says you absolutely need to get this because it's probably important people that we need to rescue from the Empire. And Lux has a different point of view. So we can start next session with that argument. We'll talk to you guys later.